Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned this morning, this Friday morning. Just a few days left in the month of September. What? Do you remember the 26th day of September? Woo! All right. No, but it is the 26th day of September today. And it is a party. Celebrate. Dance to the music, right? James Comey has been indicted. Now, yesterday I know I said, oh, well, what is it? Is it perjury? Is it this? Is it low-hanging fruit? Is it whatever? He is indicted and I know our friend Bully Gun Patriot on X will love it because this is his favorite. Boom! The verdict is in. Bam! Nobody is above the law, right? Get off the screen, Rooster. Thank you. All right? Nobody is above the law, and James Comey has been indicted. Now, is it the big, juicy treason charge that everyone kind of got hyped up about, thought was coming? No, right? It's not going to be. I told you treason's probably not on the table. Legally. Again, colloquially, when you're talking about it with your friends, you know, treason, fine, whatever. But legally, this is probably not going to be a treason case. But we will talk about it. 2 charges, perjury and obstruction of justice, okay? Again, both of those things are illegal. And so, therefore, obviously, you can be held accountable if you violate those laws. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Lindsay Halligan, the new U.S. attorney out of the Eastern District of Virginia, obviously, you saw everything that came about this week with her name and Donald Trump's Truth Social posts, etc., about Lindsay Halligan. She's now doing a great job out there in the Eastern District of Virginia. Is everything okay?
Yes, I was trying to make out what Winky said to me.
Okay, gotcha. Usually, just so you guys know, I asked this, right? So usually when I see you off to my right,
oh, no.
Brennan doing this, watch, look at me on the camera. When she's doing, usually it means somebody's telling us that there's no sound or that something is freezing or that there's so I had to ask if everything was okay.
Me and Winky always say good morning in silly ways, and I was just like really focusing on her.
Trying to figure out exactly what her good morning was. All right, so we are going to talk about the Comey indictment. A very strange thing happened, and for those of you watching on, for those of you who are watching and listening to Kale and Company this morning, this is a very strange occurrence that came from the zoo. Okay, very, very strange thing that we saw happen. So we will get to that. I've got a couple of clips from yesterday. Donald Trump was in vintage form yesterday in the Oval Office, signing some executive orders. Also speculation from the great Paul Sperry. And he has been one of the top reporters on Spygate issues, et cetera. We'll get to the post from him. I love it. We'll get to that. John Brennan may be next. He may be next. Trump signed an order to initiate an all-of-government approach to end and dismantle radical left-wing terror. Very nice. Updates on the TikTok deal and why I think this is going to be it's going to be a big deal as far as I can see and what I could tell. And that will be that for this morning. And of course, your calls, the second half of the show at 631-527-4545. Yesterday, just personally, it was a pretty big day, in terms of the content that went up and got around on social media. And so I want to say thank you to everybody who shared it. Everybody here on X, on Rumble, everywhere. This new, and we floated the idea out in the chat yesterday, and born from that was also a really funny video that Jeremy Harrell put together. So check that out on Instagram. He did a Bernie Sanders clapback at Donald Trump, and he was like, "We in Vermont we'll put our toasters in the bathtub. It was really funny. So that was cool. We're gonna figure out. We'll turn that clapback type of concept into a well-oiled machine too, because I think there's a lot of directions where we can go. Especially, I'm gonna keep doing the Trump PSAs. Right? I mean, that's going to be something that I think is, it seemed to be a hit. Not going to go one a day because I've always taken with that a less is more approach. I mean, it first started going viral 4 years ago.
Yeah, it'll lose its pizzazz.
Right. We don't want it to lose its novelty. We don't want to, it's a less is more approach, but I've got a good list of PSA items to do. By the way, next Thursday or Friday, we're going to have a very fun show with a very fun guest. I'm only going to say that. But many of you know who this person is. I'm going to say that. And I think you all like this person. So that's late next week. But yesterday, the day before with the whole Tylenol thing, there was the whole, I reposted my Trump endorses breathing air, which I did on a random Saturday in August because I felt like it. I was like, you know what? I've been sitting on this bit for a long time. Let's just put it out there. So then when everyone's like, oh, if the left heard Donald Trump endorse breathing, they'd hold their breath. I'm like, funny you say that. Here's a clip, that I made, a bit I made. So that wound up turning into a whole bunch of other conversations, but we floated the idea of Trump doing PSAs about toasters in the bathtub. So I'm going to play that video for you in just a second. Of course, before I do that, I want to talk to you about our friends over at OFP Farms who will never put a toaster in their bathtub. They're way smarter than that. Great people. And they are thrilled to announce that it is actually OFP Farms' birthday month, Brennan.
Happy birthday to you.
There you go. OFP Farms is thrilled to announce that it's their birthday month. They celebrate 11 wonderful years in business. They have shipped over 16,000 packages. They've shared their skin and pain relief magic across this beautiful country with all of you. They are America's trusted source for soap, lotion, pain relief, and lip balm, and they have received countless enthusiastic reviews from people like you that attest to the excellence of their products. And to celebrate for a limited time until the end of September. Once September's over, this is going away. So get in while the get in is good. 25% off your entire purchase throughout this whole month of September as a heartfelt thank you for your support over the years. Discover the remarkable products from OFP Farms, a pioneer in natural ingredients celebrated for the skin nurturing benefits of tallow and fresh goat milk. Now, whether you're in search of gentle skincare options or thoughtful gifts, these products seamlessly blend expert craftsmanship with strong values to elevate your daily routine. I want you to take this opportunity to pick up premium products that support health and resonate with ethical choices for your whole family. Look at this. This is the sweater weather box. You can get 25% off of this beautiful thing. Look at this. Look, let me open it up. Look at that. All the soap and everything in there. There's lip balms and stuff. All great stuff. OFPfarms.com. You can get this for yourself. You can get this as a gift for family members, loved ones, friends, co-workers, whatever it is. Listen, OFP Farms takes pride in being a God-first, family-owned and patriotic company and is grateful to the thousands of incredible customers like all of you that have made them, that have shown them so much amazing support. So check it out, OFPfarms.com. It's OFP Farms, Oscar Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com. You see it on your screen, OFPfarms.com. Promo code Sean, S-H-A-W-N, OFPfarms.com, promo code S-H-A-W-N, Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey, November, for 25% off until the end of September. I saw Freedom in the chat.
Wow, I'm just singing today.
Freedom said, I have the inauguration box as like a decoration. I still have mine too. I am never getting rid of this thing. This was the coolest thing that OFP Farms did. OFPfarms.com, promo code SHAWN as we shift props around. All right. Here is yesterday's Trump PSA, which, by the way, thanks to everybody, has amassed, let's see. Let me check it out. Now, on Facebook, folks, that's a pretty... it's been an interesting platform for the last couple of years, but something has changed on Facebook in a good way. On Facebook, this video has amassed, 924,000 views. Thank you to everybody who shared over on Facebook and on X.
Wahoo.
This has done over 1.3 million views. and it hit 1 million in under 8 hours yesterday. So I appreciate you all for that. If you could continue to share with your friends and then bring them over here, rumble.com/LFA TV. Have them follow this page. Obviously, they could get a daily dose of all of us. But here it is. Donald Trump says, do not use toasters in the bathtub.
My fellow Americans, in light of recent studies, I wanted to warn against the use of toasters in your bathtub or your shower. It's an incredibly dangerous thing to do. You could get electrocuted. They call it electrocuted. I call it zapped like you've never seen before. A shocking experience. You don't want to get zapped. That much I can tell you, especially if you're on the left. You people are fried enough as it is. We don't need it to get any worse. And electricity is no joke. I got along very well with, you may have heard of him, Benjamin Franklin. I called him Brilliant Ben. And he was flying a kite. And the lightning hit it, and he was getting electrocuted. He was getting zapped, and I grounded him. And if I wasn't there, it would have been a much different situation. But I grounded him, and we discovered electricity together. Brilliant Ben, tremendous guy. Got along very well with him. Along the same lines, we want to advise against licking your wall outlets, despite what Jiggly Belly Pritzker says. Your wall outlet is not a candy bar. Do not try to lick it. It doesn't taste very good, and you may pick up a shock, which we don't want you to do. We don't want you to get hurt. I know those on the left love and enjoy very much licking their windows. We ask that we don't apply the exact same thing to the wall outlets. It could get you very hurt. We want to keep America safe. We want to make America great. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you for your attention to this matter, and thank you once again to everybody who shared that video all over the place. It's probably one of the better ones, in terms of views that I've done. It was a fun one to do, and there are a lot more on the list of public service announcements from your favorite president, so that'll be fun. And by the way, I don't mention this a lot, but I will mention it today. If you want, I do record custom messages, videos, and audio at the website. It goes by on your ticker, Farish, Farash Media.com. All right. A quick word from our friends at Patriot Mobile, and then we'll celebrate the indictment. James Comey has been indicted on 2 charges, so we'll get to that. I saw a couple people. Yeah, maybe Comey might walk. He might, right? Maybe there's something else at play here, though. Let's get to that in a second. First, Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Look, I know there are many, many choices when it comes to who you can choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones that are popping up all over the place. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while also providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all 3 of the major U.S. networks. Don't just take my word for it. There's hundreds of thousands of people who've made the switch. There are a ton of people in our chat that have made the switch to Patriot Mobile and are now supporting causes they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Check it out. Patriot Mobile's all U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/FARASH. Use the promo code FARASH. It's FARASH, Foxtrot, Alpha Romeo, Alpha Sierra Hotel. For a free month of service, patriotmobile.com/FARASH or 972-PATRIOT. Promo code FARASH for a free month of service. Make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/FARASH. James Comey has been indicted. Are we excited about that? I'm not saying get your hopes up that he's going to wear the orange jumpsuit and he's, going to prison for the rest of his life. And this is going to be some groundbreaking, game-changing moment in American history. However, I do not think we're just getting this little red meat, low-hanging fruit. James Comey is indicted and that is it. No. That's not what is going to happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen. The great Paul Sperry. I happen to respect him a lot. I'm actually honored that he follows me on X. It's exciting. Paul Sperry reported yesterday, I'm looking to find it, that he was reporting yesterday that it's not just Comey who has been in the crosshairs that also John Brennan, here it is. I'm told by FBI HQ, Paul Sperry. Right here, I'll put it on your screen. See right there? Is that on your screen? Yes, it is. Paul Sperry. I'm told by FBI HQ that investigators and prosecutors have also been zeroing in on alleged false statements by Obama's top spook, John Brennan, gave in a May 11th, 2023 deposition in room 2237 of the Rayburn House office building. I don't think it's just going to stop with Comey and Brennan either. But James Comey has been indicted. He's been indicted and charged with two different crimes. That would be obstruction of justice and perjury. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted on charges of obstruction of justice and perjury, marking one of the most high-profile prosecutions of President Trump's second term. FBI Director Kash Patel posted to X on Thursday Today, your FBI took another step in its promise of full accountability. For far too long, previous corrupt leadership and their enablers weaponized federal law enforcement, damaging once proud institutions and severely eroding public trust. The charges are, as alleged in this case, represent a breach of the public trust in an extraordinary level, said interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan of the Eastern District of Virginia in a statement to CNBC. The balance of power is a bedrock principle of our democracy, and it relies upon accountability and a forthright presentation of facts from executive leadership to congressional oversight. Halligan continued, any intent to avoid, evade, prevent, or obstruct compliance is a violation of professional responsibility and, most importantly, the law. And what do we know about the law? Nobody is above the law. Come on, Rooster. There she is. There she is. Paul Sperry also saying on his X feed, and he again has been one of the most credible and trusted him. John Solomon happened to be very good with this. Paul Sperry says a 2021 FBI document I have obtained contradicts Comey's denials to the Senate. Quote, the leak investigation revealed Comey hired his friend Dan Richman so Comey could discuss classified information with someone outside of the FBI's leadership. Comey used Richman as a liaison to the media. FBI veteran Michael Picello pointed out that James Comey is the first FBI director to ever be booked on criminal charges. Comey's charges, again, was violation of 18 U.S. Code Section 1001 for perjury. Count 2, violation of 18 U.S. Code Section 1505 for obstructing a Senate investigation into the Russiagate hoax. If convicted on both counts, Comey faces up to 10 years in prison. Oh, ain't that a shame? Little Fats Domino this morning, right? Little Fats Domino. Though ex-Democrat prosecutor Ellie Honig claims it'd take a miracle for DOJ to turn charges versus Comey into a conviction in Alexandria, Virginia, where the jury pool's clogged with Hillary voters, Comey is not popular with Democrats who blame him for Hillary's loss. Remember, he was the one with the email probe right before the election. So Hillary voters aren't necessarily fans of James Comey. And finally, off of Paul Sperry's feed, Comey's son-in-law has quit the Department of Justice after Comey was indicted. He was married to one of Comey's daughters. Troy Edwards is said to have fought the Comey indictment as federal prosecutor in Eastern District of Virginia, where Comey was indicted. So there were a lot of people trying to avoid the indictment here. And why avoid an indictment if it doesn't have any legs, right? I mean, I get it, the process of the punishment, et cetera, et cetera. The process is the punishment, et cetera, et cetera. But I think there may be a little fear on Comey's side of things that he might get convicted. Might get convicted. Winky with the comment of the day so far. Comey faces up to 3 boyfriends in prison. That's funny. Gay! That's funny. Okay. Good stuff there, Winky. I like that one. That was a good one. I want to get to this very rare occurrence that took place yesterday. This was played on Kale & Company. I could not believe it when I saw it. Joy Behar, one of 4 bickering bovine on The View. the zoo. Said words that I never thought she would say. She's going to have to get herself some of the outlaw soap from OFP Farms and wash her mouth out with it because she said the words, I agree with Donald Trump over the Comey indictment. Now, it's not, an endorsement of the indictment, but I just thought it was funny to play, so we are going to play it. Here's Joy Behar. I agree with Donald Trump. It's the only time I'm going to actually be happy to play the video.
Experience.
I don't like Comey. I agree with Trump on this one.
You don't like Comey because of what he
I don't like what he did to Hillary. I don't like what he did to Hillary.
So therefore he should be prosecuted?
No. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've rarely
Someone argue that he was
but I rarely had something that I agree with Trump on. So this is one thing.
But you don't like him.
But Joy, some would say he was doing his job, James Comey.
What, at the last minute to bring out this baloney baloney thing?
Some would say he was doing his job.
I'm not going to dredge up ancient history and move on.
You agree with me?
I think that it should have been investigated. I do think the timing was out of step with tradition within the Department of Justice. They generally don't do that a month out from an election.
Right.
Conservative with another good comment there, which is, maybe I'll make a video about this. Donald Trump goes cow tipping. I'm going cow tipping. I'm starting with the zoo, the view, right? We're going to tip over Whoopi Goldberg. Moo. Down she goes, right? Down she goes. Cow tipping sounds fun.
No.
Yes, it does.
I feel bad for the cows.
Well, they'll get back up.
Yeah, but can you imagine you're just asleep and all of a sudden someone pushes you out of the bed?
Well, no, because I'm in the bed.
No.
I'll wake up before I get pushed out. Cows got to evolve. Come on. Gotta get better.
No, cows are not.
Gotta get better. No, I like cows. They also taste great, but I like cows. They really do. Yeah, I want to go cow tipping. Let's go. LFA TV, we did the ARC trip. Let's do a cow tipping trip. All of us in Bad Moon will come.
Bad Moon would for sure come.
Have a
Speak
mask
would
on.
Be there, I'm sure.
Speak on a mask on.
Honestly, Winky would probably.
We'll all be in camo and black.
Yeah, we can bring Mo.
We'll bring Mo.
Use one of her crutches. And
we can actually. You know what we could do?
Push from afar.
I have an idea. Mo tipping. There he goes. Okay. We just read Mo tipping. All right, cool. That's the Comey news. Look, there's not really much to talk about Comey other than the fact that this is going to be a criminal case involving James Comey. And according to, again, Paul Sperry, who I trust major, all right? Love Paul Sperry. Lot of credibility. He's saying that the evidence is pretty strong. Will they be able to convince a jury? Maybe. We'll see. But I think there's enough there. Obviously, a grand jury thought there was enough there. And we will see exactly how that shakes out. But I'm happy that we've got one. And I'm going to tell you something. There's going to be more. Okay? There's going to be more. But I want you to understand also that I'm not saying that you're going to be getting Obama indicted for treason, okay? There are people saying that. They are wrong. That's not going to happen. On the internet, there's the sensationalism. There's on one side, on the other side, and the truth is here, usually, okay? You're not going to see Obama indicted for treason, but you will most likely see a bunch of other names that we've wanted to see held accountable on whatever the statute of limitations hasn't expired on. Okay, let's move on. We're going to move on to this because obviously left-wing violence is out of control. By the way, we mentioned it, that ropes are tightening on Trump-hating former CIA chief John Brennan. We mentioned that about Paul Sperry, the reporting that Paul Sperry did. And it's circulating in other places other than what Paul Sperry is saying. So I would say John Brennan should be a little nervous and be very excited to get him. One of these guys is going to flip, is what I think, right? Or maybe all of them are going to squeal on other people. Let me ask you this, chat. What or who is the most important thing to James Comey? What or who is the most important thing or person to James Comey?
Yeah, chat. What's the answer to that one?
What or who is the most important thing to James Comey? What does he hold? What does James Comey hold in his highest regard? Right? That's it. This should be an easy question. What or who is the most important thing or person to James Comey? There it is. Kit Kat Mars got it. James Comey himself.
That's what I was going to say.
There is nobody more important. Nothing is more important to James Comey than James Comey. Okay? So let's say in this indictment that there is just, evidence. Even James Comey looks at it and goes, oh, crap. I might get convicted of this stuff. I think this man is going to squeal in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, everyone's getting it, right? In a heartbeat, they're gonna squeal. Same thing. John Brennan, James Clapper. These guys don't want to go to jail. They don't want to deal with this crap. I have a feeling someone is going to be leveraged into singing like a canary. And I'm very excited about that. Donald Trump also very excited about this. Donald Trump is launching an all-of-government effort into dismantling left-wing terror groups. That's exciting. That's exciting. He signed a couple of orders on this yesterday. I'm going to play a clip from that signing right here. Donald Trump signing an EO to dismantle left-wing terror groups.
This is a very historic and significant day. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism. What we have seen, if you look at whether it be going back to the riots that started with Black Lives Matter and all the way through to the Antifa riots, the attacks on ICE officers, the doxing campaigns, and now the political assassinations, these are not lone, isolated events. This is part of an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. It is structured, it is sophisticated, it is well-funded, it is well-planned. There is really no parallel like this to anything else in the country right now. There is an entire system of feeder organizations that provide money, resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece. And the central hub of that effort is going to be the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, which sits inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But for those at home who are worried about terrorism in this country, they need to understand, because of President Trump's strength, because of his vision, because of his leadership, we are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations root and branch. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump and his leadership.
Now, did you hear what Stephen Miller said there and who he mentioned? He mentioned Cash, he mentioned Pam, and he mentioned Scott. Who is Scott? Obviously, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. They're going after the funding. That is so important. Because a lot of these people, as passionately as they hate Donald Trump, as many of them might be taking toasters and putting it in their shower this morning because they heard the clip and were like, I'll show him. Right? A lot of the wall outlet. I'm going to lick that outlet. Right? Instead of licking their windows. A lot of them aren't going to do that stuff for free. Okay? Somebody is funding these efforts. We know that. But now it sounds like the Trump administration is going to be going after the funding, which is very important. That's the way to make a lot of this stop. All right, quick message from our friends over at Silent. We're closing in on calls about 15 minutes away. So get your phones ready on your speed dial. Get it ready, 631-527-4545. We're going to try and start right at 9:45 a.m. Central Time, 10:45 Eastern Time this morning to take your calls. Silent, folks. Let's face it, your phone, that thing is a tracking device. Government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they're not asking. They just go on and they take it, right? That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, cellular signals, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology that's trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. Drop your phone in a silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent, invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to sleeves to crossbody, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com, Sierra Lima November Tango, /Shawn, SHAWN, Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is Silent, slnt.com /Shawn. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Go silent today at slnt.com and silence the chaos. Silence the chaos. All right. I'm gonna chum the waters with this clip of Jasmine Crockett, Nurse Ratched herself, right, with her eyelashes. She said this recently. I think it might have been last week. Criminals, she said basically, just because you commit a crime does not make you a criminal. Hold on. Jasmine Crockett. Okay, let me see this. Let's go to Google. You could Google that. Define criminal. Okay. Here is the Oxford. This could not have been any perfect. All right. We're going to play this video of Jasmine Crockett first, and then I'll show you the Google Oxford Dictionary definition of crime.
Understanding what ends up having people become criminally impacted really informs so much of what I do legislatively, right? So when people are like, oh, crime is terrible. And yes, it is, right? Like, because when somebody goes out and commits a crime, they don't typically, say, well, I'm a D or I'm an R or I'm an I. It's not like literally like, it's about, well, how do you fix it? How do you make community safer? And I do think that I'm in a unique situation because I was having the conversations with people that were going out and committing crimes. And so I understood what was kind of pushing them there. And so I do want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different. Being a criminal is more so about your mindset. Committing a crime can come for a lot of different reasons.
Just because you committed a crime does not mean you're a criminal. All right. Well, we can go to Google. You could Google that. Definition of criminal. A person who has committed a crime. Thanks, Jasmine Crockett, you babbling idiot. What a moron. Now, the reason I play that is because Donald Trump teed off on her and Ilhan Omar yesterday from the Oval Office. And we're going to get to that in just a second. But before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at goldencrestmetals.com /LFA. The great Jeremy Harrell with a message from our sponsors at Golden Crest Metals.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com /LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees, No pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen, and it'll take you right there. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Again, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Golden Crest Metals. Appreciate all the support and being a part of the show. Jasmine Crockett said that just because you're a criminal, just because you commit a crime doesn't mean that you're a criminal. Meanwhile, the definition of criminal is a person who has committed a crime. So Jasmine Crockett showing off that she's not a very smart person. Donald Trump said this about Jasmine Crockett and Ilhan Omar yesterday in the Oval Office. By the way, I see us getting close to Mo territory, about 110 away. Hit the like button if you're watching on Rumble. And if you're watching anywhere else, Rumble is home base. It is the cool kids table, so join all the cool kids. Rumble.com/LFA TV. Donald Trump teed off on Jasmine Crockett and Ilhan. He called her Ilman Omar. It's pretty funny, but here it was yesterday from the Oval Office. Vintage Trump off the top rope with the people's elbow.
Jasmine Crockett. Remember what I said? Is she a relation to the late, great Davy Crockett? I don't think so. Jasmine Crockett, let me tell you, before you even ask, she's a very low IQ person. I mean, if we ever had to pass an aptitude test, that's the one should take one, because she shouldn't even be in the crowd. So I have no idea what you're going to, but I don't think we should waste our time. This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson, between her and Ilhan Omar and the group. You know, I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he didn't want her. He said, I don't want her. Okay, what else?
He met the head of Somalia. That is just terrific. In 40 some odd seconds, Donald Trump took down both of them. Low IQ. You know, you look at Jasmine Crockett. She's got eyebrows and eyelashes. The eyelashes are huge. You know, they look like wings. You know, she flaps them so hard she may start lifting off of the ground. And then you have Ilman. I called her Ilman because she's Ilman, right? I called her Ilhan Omar. I said to the head of Somalia, you want to take her back? They said, no, sir. This is what I told the head of Ireland when they asked if we would take Rosie O'Donnell back. I said, you're not sending her back. We're going to tariff you 5,000% per pound on Rosie O'Donnell. You're not sending her back. I thought that was fun. Vintage Trump, a little light way to end the week. It's been a tough couple of weeks. Trump, obviously, just in classic vintage form. Thought that was hilarious. Jasmine Crockett, just because you committed a crime does not mean you're a criminal. Definition of crime, a criminal, person who committed a crime. That's all that needs to be said. All right, next, the TikTok deal. There's been a lot of talk about TikTok lately. It is a deal, looks like it has been completed. J.D. Vance in the Oval Office yesterday as Donald Trump signed an executive order saving TikTok from a ban. J.D. Vance with a couple of comments about TikTok. Watch this.
Thank you, sir, for your leadership and for your help. We really couldn't have done this without the president actually ushering this deal over the finish line. There was some resistance on the Chinese side, but the fundamental thing that we wanted to accomplish is that we wanted to keep TikTok operating, but we also wanted to make sure that we protected Americans' data privacy as required by law, both because it's the right thing to do, but also because it's a legal requirement of the law that was passed last year by Congress. So we think that we were able to do that. Of course, we're going to keep on working at it, but this deal really does mean that Americans can use TikTok, but actually use it with more confidence than they had in the past, because their data is going to be secure and it's not going to be used as a propaganda weapon against our fellow citizens. We're very excited about it. We appreciate the cooperation of everybody involved, and it's a big day.
The biggest takeaway you can get from J.D. Vance's comments was what about TikTok? That it's not going to be used as a propaganda tool against our citizens. What does that mean?
That it was a propaganda tool
Well,
against our citizens.
that's number one, right? And remember a couple of years ago when Osama bin Laden's letter to America started going viral?
And people were like, oh, he was a
And they were
good
like,
guy.
oh, he had a point. No, Osama bin Laden did not have a point. Vance expanded on those comments regarding TikTok as well, which look, I use TikTok. Obviously, that's where I met Brennan. That's where my Trump impersonation really went viral. It helped me. It did. I'm not, ashamed to say it either, right? I knew the risks and I used it. I still use it. Now, the censorship is wild. The algorithm is addictive. I don't like to use it a lot because, I'm addicted to X as much as it is. I don't need to be addicted to another social media app, right? But the TikTok algorithm is malicious in a way. Misfit has a lot of thoughts on the TikTok algorithm, and I think many of them are spot on. If you want to take a look at Misfit Patriots, his commentary on TikTok. But the point of the matter is, this app now, and the U.S. investors that are going to be taking over the U.S. version, the algorithm is going to change, and that's the most important thing. And I encourage everybody, once this sale is completed and there is a new, safe U.S. version, to consider joining the platform, and this is why.
First of all, I would say all credit goes to the Secretary of the Treasury. Couldn't have got it done without Scott. Also couldn't have got it done without Sean Cooksey on my team, so thanks to them. The company will be valued around $14 billion. We actually think this is a good deal for investors, but ultimately the investors are going to make the determination about what they want to invest in and what they think is a proper value. The most important thing is that it does protect Americans' data security. It ensures TikTok is still accessible. And on this question of the algorithm, which we've heard this a lot, what this deal ensures is that the American entity and the American investors will actually control the algorithm. We don't want this used as a propaganda tool by any foreign government. We want to make sure that our people and our investors actually make these decisions based on what's good for their business as opposed to what's good for another government's propaganda arm. So that's what we've done with this deal. I think it's very good for the American people. And as the president said, young people love this. We actually want everybody to access this, whether they're MAGA or not. We just want it to be fair. We want it to be fair to everybody. And we think that's what's going to happen with this new arrangement.
And the new arrangement, obviously, giving U.S. investors and the U.S. companies that will be controlling the U.S. version of TikTok a little more control over that algorithm. That changes the entire game over on TikTok. That changes the entire game, not just for content creators, but for culture, right? Where what the algorithm prioritizes now. A lot of anti-Israel content, a lot of pro-Palestinian content, a lot of hard left content, a lot of violent and disgusting, really degenerate content. It sounds as if that is going to change. So, a lot of people say, what can I do? How do I play a role? The best way to amplify the message is, as Project Veritas made it popular, distribution by proxy. The power of sharing, and TikTok right now is a platform that is dominated by leftists and folks in the middle. And if things are going to become fairer there, I think you may see some similar performances to what conservatives have seen over the last 6 or so months on Facebook, where reaching people we weren't previously allowed to reach, and the truth being spread far and wide. So I will remain on TikTok, but I'm exceptionally excited about the parts of the deal that J.D. Vance was describing yesterday in the Oval Office. All right. We're going to get to your call, 631-527-4545. You know the deal. 631-527-4545. 4545. I'm going to put the number up on your screen so you can see it. We're going to get to a word from our friends at My Patriot Supply. It's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. And then we'll go straight to calls, 631-527-4545. Folks, this is National Preparedness Month. It is September. National Preparedness Month at mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. So it is the perfect time to ask yourself some questions like, how much food do you have on hand for emergencies? How would you get clean water if the tap went dry tomorrow? What would you do if a storm knocked out the power for an entire week? If you're anything like me, there's some room for improvement on all this type of stuff. Luckily, Our friends at My Patriot Supply are making disaster preparedness easier and more affordable than ever before by giving you over $1,500 worth of emergency food and preparedness gear absolutely free. Check it out at the Preparedness Month Mega Kit, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. It includes a full year of emergency food, a water filtration system that can purify almost any water source, a solar backup generator, and a whole lot more. Check it out. The best part is if you go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, you can get 90 preparedness essentials totaling over $1,500 absolutely free. Just go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned for those full details. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. It is National Preparedness Month. The Preparedness Month Mega Kit going on until the end of the month. Check it out. Take stock of your family's level of preparedness. 90 items, $1,500 could be yours for free at mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Check out the full details, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. All right, we will do your calls, 631-527-4545. That is 631-527-4545. Do you want to celebrate the indictment of James Comey? Do you want, every time we start calls on time, by the way, we don't get flooded, but we do have one coming in here. Here we are at it's at 631-527-4545, and we are connected. Hello there. Who do we have on the line?
Hi, this is Logan. How are you doing, Sean?
What's going on, Logan? Log 23. What's happening?
My question is, when is Trump going to sign an executive order banning mail-in ballots? Do you know when that's going to take place?
Okay, so I don't think he can do that, and I'll tell you why. It is unconstitutional in many ways for the federal government to tell individual states what type of voting methods they can and can't allow in their states. So he may sign an executive order initiating maybe some sort of investigation into mail-in ballots, but I do not believe he's going to be able to sign an executive order that will withhold court challenges that will ban mail-in ballots. I don't think he's going to be able to do that, so I actually don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. Do you think James Comey will be go to jail behind bars?
Well, it depends on what type of jury they have, and it depends on what type of case that is brought. The case seems strong. But, I mean, anything is possible in a trial. If I was to say the likelihood of it, I would probably put it at maybe under 20% right now. But we'll see what happens as the trial moves forward.
Okay. And Letitia James, hopefully she gets indicted next, too.
I hope so. I really do hope so. I think, again, if it can be proven that she, committed mortgage fraud, which it looks like, there's decent amount of evidence that she did. Hopefully she's indicted soon. Nobody's above the law. We say it all the time. And hopefully, she gets indicted as well. And that, that becomes another person who's just been held accountable for, trying to cheat the system.
Okay. And Sean, last thing I wanted to tell you is, you should tell Jeremy to plan a LFA TV event at Mount Rushmore next year. Will you tell him that?
All right. Well, it's on the show, and we will pass the message along. Jeremy, we want to go to Mount Rushmore. There it is. Logan, thank you so much for your call. Appreciate all the support, and you have a great weekend, all right?
Okay, you too. Have a great weekend, too.
Thanks, Logan. Appreciate it. Good questions from Log 23
Mount
in the
Rushmore,
chat.
I like that idea.
Mount Rushmore. That's up in,
cool.
what is that, North Dakota? Or South Dakota?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Well, my idea is to merge the Dakotas anyway. I'm going to merge the Dakotas. 631-527-4545. This is what happens. I have to start calls with 5 minutes left in the show for people to actually feel like they have to call in. That's what happens. When I start nice and early, because everyone likes to do calls, we get lackluster volume. When I start late, it's like 40 people are calling in and people are getting insulted that they're not going to be able to get in there. So 631-527-4545. Let's take a quick break and get to a word from our friends over at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Look, I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. Well, that is what Armor Colostrum can do for you. And Actually, a whole lot more. It's the first nutrition that we receive in life, colostrum is, and it contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Colostrum can reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. It can fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism. And it can fuel your fitness, performance, and your recovery. You can harness the close-guarded secret of elite athletes, long prized for its unrivaled ability to take performance to its apex. Colostrum has been shown in research to help enhance nutrient absorption, promote lean muscle building, and improve endurance, while fueling cellular repair regeneration for faster recovery. Specifically, colostrum has been shown to improve fitness endurance by 20%, decrease recovery time by over 50% after intense exercise, improve stamina, and specifically build lean muscle mass. Check it out at tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off of your first order. That's tryarmra.com/LFATV. tryarmra.com/LFATV. tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off of your first order. All right, we'll get back to these calls at 631-527-4545. We have one connecting right now. Now a bunch of people are starting to call in after that little call to action. Had to do it. Who do we have on the line here? Hello.
Hey, Sean. It's Tom from Long Island.
Tom, what's going on?
Not much. How you guys doing?
We're all right. How are you?
Pretty good. Just up in Pennsylvania for the weekend, picking up my concealed carry in PA today, and potentially even looking to move up here because it seems like New York's going to fall apart.
Oh yeah. It's not in a good situation. So hey, I hope you enjoy your time out in Pennsylvania. It's supposed to be it's a pretty beautiful state. We've driven through the whole state. When we went to Ohio, we drove through Pennsylvania. It's a nice place.
Yeah, it definitely is.
What's on your mind? Anything? You got anything going, or you're having a good time on your trip?
I just hope we start getting some serious action here because Bondi's barely doing anything. Trump's doing stuff, but he can really kick it up a notch, and I think he should. And short of declaring martial law or the Insurrection Act at the very least, we got to have more action and less conversation.
Yeah, when we take the action, we got to make sure it's calculated and it's airtight so that it's not frivolous. But it would be nice to see some accountability. I will say this: just one thing is when Biden took over, it took a long time before the high-profile stuff started. So we're actually running ahead of their pace. So just keep that in mind. Keep the faith. And I agree, Bondi's got to do a better job. And I would love to see that action kick up. Well, you have a great trip in Pennsylvania. Congratulations on that concealed carry permit. And if you leave New York, I won't blame you.
Sounds good, Sean. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Tom. Tom from Long Island. Appreciate it. Great call. And he's up there in Pennsylvania. When you get out of New York and start to see these other places, you're like, it might be time to leave, especially with the Mamdani situation happening down there as well. 631-527-4545. I see a lot of people now competing to try and get in, and I'm not getting notifications here on my screen. So keep trying. It is first come, first serve, and we are running with what's a digital little web-based system here. But I did see a bunch. I was trying to pick it up, and then the notification went away. There it is. We've got it. We are picking up this call right now. It is connecting, so just give it a second. And we are connected now. Hello, who do we have on the line here?
Hello, Sean. This is Mima.
Hi, Mima. How are you?
Mima.
I just wanted to call and thank everybody for all the prayers. It's really been tough.
Yeah, I hear that. I know we've had pretty tough couple weeks, but we support you, and we're all praying for you. And I think everybody here, they want to see you come out of this stronger than ever. So we're sending all those prayers and all that energy your way.
It's really hard, and I really appreciated y'all. It was a long 69 days, but prayer got me through it, and I hope it gets me stronger.
I think it will, Mimo. I think it will. Stay strong, and thanks for being here. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it, and being such a great friend to us. We appreciate you more than you know.
I love you all.
We love you too.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Have a great weekend. Mima, going through a pretty tough time, so keep her in your prayers tonight. Obviously, some losses in the family there.
She's so wonderful.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I just absolutely adore Mima.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. And, and she's not cracking the whip in the chat on Mo. We start slacking. Speaking of which, where are we?
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
No.
All right.
You guys get to 800 for Mima.
Yeah, get to 800 for Mima now. We're 10 away. We're 10 away. Can you do 10 in 4 minutes? I think you can. All right, phone is acting a little weird now. I just saw someone try and call, and apparently somebody left me a voicemail on here. That happens every now and again. It might be one of those things. It's 2 seconds, so it wasn't a real voicemail. 631-527-4545. It is... It's acting a little weird. I just gave it a refresh. So if you're still trying to call, there we go. We've got one on the screen that we can pick up. Here we go. And it is connecting. It is connecting. It is connecting. It is connected. Hello there. Who do we have on the line?
Yes, this is Mr. Ted from Michigan.
All right, Mr. Ted from Michigan. How are you?
I'm good. Beautiful weather up here.
Yeah, it's been getting nice and in the fall kind of mode here in Tennessee as well. What's on your mind?
Well, I don't really want to promote someone else's show, but Tucker's got a series out. I think it's a five sector series about the 9/11 Commission cover-up. And interestingly, he has like FBI, ex-FBI guys talking, etc. But he uncovered, he said that the 18 hijackers received their passports and visas to come to the United States through the Saudi Arabian U.S. Embassy, and that the person in charge of the CIA at that embassy at that time was John Brennan.
Okay, yep, that I think that checks out. I think the FBI director was who? Bob Mueller at the time, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Or he was involved.
I'm not sure. I didn't get that far.
He was somehow involved. Bob Mueller was somehow involved with the hijackers. May have rented them a room or paid for their housing or something in the United States. So, a lot of curious things. Now, the problem, and I'm not saying this to discredit anything Tucker's saying. It's just that I have been very reluctant to trust anything coming from Tucker Carlson because of some of his recent statements. But that does not discredit the work of this 5-part series. There may be very good information in there. I'll try and give it a look. But I appreciate you bringing that up. And no worries at all promoting any sort of, fact-based research or anything like that. It's no worries whatsoever. So thank you for that, Ted. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right. Take care.
You have a good weekend. Ted from Michigan. All right, we have time maybe for a 30-second lightning round. If we get in on time, Jeremy Harrell is up next right here on LFA TV. It's rumble.com/LFA TV. Coming up, we have a lightning round. We have to do this. It's going to have to be like a real quick one and done real fast. If this connects, here we go. You are connected. We have 20 seconds. What do you got?
I'm Carol from Long Island.
Carol, thank you for calling in. What's happening?
Oh, Trump's on his way here to Long Island to see the Ryder Cup in Bethpage.
That's right, Bethpage Black. It's a great golf course. U.S. Open's been there a couple times. I've never played it, but I have played other courses at Bethpage. Should be a good time. Hopefully the president stays safe. Carol, I wish we could chat for a little longer. We got to bounce, but I appreciate the call and have a great weekend.
Okay, no problem. You too. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Carol from Long Island.
Honk Mo, honk Mo.
That's it. We got a honk Mo. Jeremy's coming up next with Live from America right here on rumble.com/LFA TV. As President Trump would say, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we will just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Friday. I'll be on with Chris Salcedo on Newsmax today in the 5 o'clock hour. It's always fun going on the Salcedo show. Have a great rest of your weekend. In the words of John Fetterman, good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. This is a huge gavel. And in the words of our great President Trump, thank you for your attention to this matter. We are out for the weekend, back on Monday. Rumble.com/LFA TV. And we will be back. What was it? 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm trying to think about what time we go on. I'm always confused with the time. Jeremy Harrell up next. Rumble.com/LFA TV.